What's up, guys? Welcome back. In this video, I want to teach about functions. This is a pretty big thing, and pretty big thing in C basically. And I want to teach you the two different ways of doing it. Now, in order to create a function, we need to have a return type of what this function is going to return, the name of the function, what the function takes in, and then the actual code for the function. So similar to this int main syntax here, the return type is int. That's why we return a 0. The name is main, and we have our parameters. And then we have our code block. So I'm going to say I want to make a function called do something. Now I don't want this function to return anything, so I'm going to say void, void. And so that just means that the function won't return anything. I'm going to call it do something. And I'm just going to say, let's just say it takes in a number. So we want to say int, and let's say num, like that. And so I want this function simply to do a printf statement, and I want it to do the number is, and then I want to say num, like that. And then inside of here, let's just simply call the function. So in order to call a function, you basically want to do this type right here. So like you want to do this piece here. I said type. I meant to say you want to do this piece here. So do something. You see it pops up and it returns void. And then we want to pass in the numbers. Let's just say 23, right? Now when we run this, the number is 23. Now we didn't do any code here except we called a function. The code was done here. So we linked this function via this call to the actual code of the function here. So let's say that we don't want to pass in a number every time. We want to have a default. We can simply do 23 right like that. And then we don't pass it in here. We run it. All right. Oh, forget what I just said. We can't do defaults with C. I'm thinking about Python right now. I just did a Python course 2 days ago. Forget what I just said right there. Okay, C is way more robust. So we can't do a default. But what we can do is we can return different things that we want to return. So let's say we want to return an integer. So let's say we want to say int because we want to return something. Let's say int new num or new number is equal to do something, and then we want to pass in a number. Let's say 23. What do we want to return? Let's just say we want to return. So we would do a return statement, and we would say, let's say 23 divided by 23. So that'd be a 1. And then let's just say we want to print. Let's say we want to print the number is. Let's do %d, or you can do %i, and we'll say new number. So if we run this, the number is 1. So it basically took the number, or actually it didn't take anything because I divided it, hard coded it. We did num divided by 23. You'll see it. It basically takes the parameter and it divided it by a number and it returned it. So we can also we can say divide the number by 23 and then plus 1 like that, and what we'll get is 2. Or wait, I kind of took this off here. Let's put that back. Okay, you can see we get 2. And so, any type of math operations work. The way programming works with math operations is PEMDAS, or order of operations. So basically all your different rules with that apply here. So that's basically how that will work. So just showing you that. So now, what if we don't want to put all of our functions above our main function, because this is where we run all of our logic, and we want to be able to easily see this. So let's take this here and let's move it down. So I'm going to Control C to copy. I'm going to get rid of it up there, and I'm going to put it here. So if we run this, watch what happens. we get the numbers 2. Now, we don't want to actually declare it below because in some compilers, now with this one here, it'll still print it, but you'll get an error if you try to actually do this. What you want to do, so it sucked because I was trying to actually teach something there just now, but if basically what you want to do is you want to say whatever it's returning, you want to do the function name, and then you want to do the int that it takes in, and then you want to put a semicolon. This is called prototyping. So we're prototyping our function here. So when we do this, we're not calling the function, but this is a prototype so that when the compiler actually like compiles this program here on this program file, it's going to actually have a link to this code down here so that it knows what to do when the method is called. Because if we call this method before this code block gets defined, or this function gets defined, sometimes we're running the error. So this is what we do here. It's called prototyping. So when we run this, you'll see we still get the same result because that's how you're supposed to do it. Um, I guess with code blocks now, they don't really need you to do that, but you still want to do that because in C, that's kind of what you have to do if you put functions below your main function. So just to show you that, so that's a little bit about functions. Obviously, you got all your same things that you can do: for loops, while loops, if else statements, switch statements. So that's how you would do that. It's just basically a separate code block so that everything looks neater and more organized. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. In the next video, I think I'm going to be covering pointers. So stay tuned for that, and see you later.